What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. But today we're not talking about War Thunder. The background footage you see is me in a battle I had in the IS-1. But this is basically just background footage for the purpose of a small health update. I thought you might enjoy this rather than an Orange Doom style blank video. In 1440p, of course. This is actually going to be in 4K if I render this properly. So I haven't done a whole lot of videos lately, excuse me, and that's because of multiple things, including War Thunder burnout and the fact that I haven't been feeling all that well. So I haven't done any sort of a health update in a couple of months, so I figured it would be time to talk a little bit about this, because I actually have had a small update for you. Not a whole lot to talk about, but let's see. Recently, I went in for a sleep apnea test. I went to a local sleep study, a sleep center, where they kept me overnight and hooked me up to a ton of wires and monitored my sleeping. Well, they tried to monitor my sleeping. It turns out, when you hook 20-something wires to me, 10 to my head, and put me in a bed that I've never slept in, as it turns out, I can't sleep worth a damn. Imagine that. I was in that bed for approximately 7 hours. I think, and I couldn't prove this obviously, but I think I slept maybe an hour. The entire night I just laid there, awake, frustrated, getting up and going pee, just not doing any kind of sleeping really, and that really upset me, quite frankly, because I'm there to sleep. I'm there to be monitored. I'm there to hopefully to get treated eventually. So all I slept was maybe an hour. I didn't think that whole night was going to end up being worth my time, but as it turns out, I was wrong. I just got off the phone with the sleep center, and they said that they did get enough information that they were able to diagnose me with what they called mild sleep apnea. Apparently, a normal number of interruptions in the night is something like 5 per hour, and mine was 8.8. So I'm just above that normal limit. I'm in the mild sleep apnea range. So what we're gonna do is, in 2 weeks, I believe it was that I'm going to go back into the sleep center for a second sleep study, where I will hopefully be able to sleep more than an hour, and they will be able to hopefully find out which mask works best for me, because there are like 3 or 4 different styles of masks, and then we have to dial in the amount of air pressure that they give me, because the whole point of this is to force oxygen, well, actually just fresh air, not actually oxygen, but air down in my nose or my throat through my mouth. Either way, some masks only do one or the other. Some do a full face mask that forces air down your nose and your mouth. Anyway, the whole point of this is to keep your throat from collapsing when you're sleeping. You don't want your throat to collapse, so that you want to be able to breathe properly when you're sleeping. When you don't breathe properly, you end up having health problems. And the theory is sleep apnea can be related to atrial fibrillation, which is my heart problem, which I talked about in the last video. The studies have shown that there often is a connection between sleep apnea and atrial fibrillation, so we're hoping that if we can find the right mask and the right amount of air, we might be able to properly treat both the sleep apnea and the atrial fibrillation. Anyway, that's the goal. Whether or not it works, obviously, only time will tell. Right now, I'm just hoping that I can get a proper night of sleep. That night was not good. I came home, did some work on the computer, and ended up taking a nap after that first sleep study, because I just only got an hour of sleep, and that just isn't enough. It just isn't enough to keep you fueled for the day. At least not me, anyway. So that whole day was kind of an awkward sleeping deal for me. So that's what's going on that front. And this whole thing, by the way, has taken a long time to get going. The first hurdle was to get my insurance to pay for the sleep study, and the doctor apparently had a hell of a problem getting them to pony up the money for this because of whatever rules and regulations they have. Insurance companies don't want to pay out unless they absolutely have to. Obviously, they want to save their money for other patients with more serious problems, I guess. And well, when they finally did get it approved by the insurance company, my doctor didn't bother to call me. How nice of them. So I didn't find out that it was going to be covered until I went to my doctor, my primary doctor, for a regular update, for just a regular check-in, to get my blood pressure taken and all that sort of thing. And I found out then, well, they could have called me a couple of months prior when they actually got it approved. We could have got this ball rolling a lot sooner. Communication problems are always frustrating. Anyway, as far as the doctor visit, the blood pressure, let's see, what else did they check? Temperature, heart rate, everything was normal. Blood glucose was normal because we did labs. Everything was either normal or just slightly elevated. Nothing to be concerned with. Nothing that I had to take new medication. Cholesterol was fine. Everything was okay. The only thing I complained about was I had pain in my left elbow and pain in my right big toe. I don't know what the big toe thing is all about. The left elbow, I think, is tennis elbow or something like that. I've never had it before. So the doctor actually prescribed me, or asked me to go in and get x-rays done, which of course I did recently. Both x-rays turned out negative, so I don't have anything broken. I was kind of hoping that they would find out that I had like tendonitis or something would show up on the x-rays, but apparently they weren't able to find anything wrong. So we're going to possibly look into seeing some sort of a therapist. Not entirely sure what to do about the foot, because it only affects the inside. Well, I guess maybe it's the outside, depending on how you look at it. But the left of my right big toe, if that makes sense. It's the only part of my foot that bothers me. My left elbow, the pain, it's on the outside of my elbow, and it comes down on the inside of my forearm, down to my thumb. I don't know if that's tennis elbow or if that's something else. If anyone's a doctor or has or is willing to offer a suggestion, I'm all ears. You know what to do. Leave a comment in the comment section below. In the meantime, I'll probably let my doctor know that I'd like to see a therapist or something, because I definitely like to get this thing fixed. Back pain, I don't know what I'm going to do there. I've been dealing with back pain for years, and current back pain I've had steady for 2 straight months now, and I can't seem to get it to go away, no matter what kind of stretching or how much ice I put on my back. My piriformis muscle, which is a muscle in your ass, that's been bothering me as well. Right now that's gone, but right now the pain's in my lower back and my hip. Man, I don't know. Anyway, that's what's going on, guys. I'm falling apart over here. from toe to my heart, everything's falling apart. I don't know what else to tell you guys sometimes. I'm getting old and falling apart. Anyway, guys, patch 1.81 should be up soon for War Thunder. It wouldn't surprise me if it falls next week, because they're rapidly updating things. Dev server was just up. They'll probably have the dev server up again this weekend, and probably the live server will be updated next week sometime. Anyway, that's what's going on. I'll try to keep you guys updated as I can with additional news. Should have that new sleep study done in a couple of weeks, so maybe by the end of September I'll have another update for you guys. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate your support over these past several months. I know I haven't been particularly active on the channel. I'm hoping to solve that once we get some of these health problems sorted out, and it'll be good to come back and play full time and get some more videos put out. Anyway, guys, thanks again. Take care.